So, name's Heron. I'm here, University of Guelph, meeting up with Kofi to commemorate Juneteenth. The time, 1865, I believe, 63, where the slaves were June 19th, where they're made aware that slavery was ended. So we just want to continue the conversation that was started in February with Black History Month, and let's kick it off, my man.
Yeah,
how's it going with you?
Yeah, everything's going good. Just working and training. I'm glad to be here back in Guelph.
Awesome.
Be able to spark a little conversation here today.
Cool.
About Juneteenth. And just like you were saying, like Juneteenth, it wasn't the end of all, but it was like a good way to kick off and start a conversation. So I think what we're doing here, being able to like talk about uncomfortable situations and events, kind of helps us in building our thought process and our outlooks on the world. So I think what we're doing here is just like a great start to like hopefully many more conversations. I know we had some before. Shout out Miles and Zay and AJ and Darius, different guy Darius. But yeah, so hopefully we just keep kind of building on continuous conversations. Hopefully you guys enjoy it and you learn something, and actually, be conscious, do your own research too, because you might find some like really thought-provoking stuff. So
awesome. Awesome. But we were talking about the relationship that we have with, in conversations, just even having conversations with other groups.
Just having like conversations like this, like bring awareness to like racial injustices, and just being able to understand like history. It kind of helps us gain like a greater understanding to our perspectives.
Right.
And so I feel like by educating ourselves like with events such as like Juneteenth, we kind of can take it into our lives and like how we want to live our lives. So I think it's really important to be able to have conversations like this.
For sure.
And like even the something like Juneteenth, it was also just another conversation that was like to be sparked. It wasn't exactly like the end of slavery.
Correct.
That like some people think that it was.
Yeah.
But I think by kind of understanding like, it's a conversation. It's an uncomfortable conversation that's kind of hard for us to have sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think with uncomfort there's growth.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think by kind of opening conversations like this, we kind of can take how we want to treat each other and treat others in real life, not just hearing about the story and then taking your little gems, but how we treat each other in real life. I think that's the most important part.
Goes a long way, man. Yeah, but like you mentioned about growth, and one of the things I would like to tell people, and especially people that are in some kind of physical activity where we're working out, your muscles grow by putting them in an uncomfortable position, right? You get those muscles growing just by working them out. They become uncomfortable, they end up growing, becoming stronger.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the same thing with people. You sit down, have those conversations, be respectful with each other, be willing to listen. I think that's the key too, right? You want to be able to sit down, listen, be respectful. You may not agree with it. You may get into some heated arguments as well, but that should be part and parcel of those conversations, right?
Yeah.
That's how you be willing to grow, like you said, grow.
Yeah, and I like how you said like we don't always have to agree.
Yeah.
I think that's like a big kind of like misconception. I feel like we always think like with uncomfortable conversations, like let's say like about prejudice or race. I think we all have different perspectives on what we think, what we define certain things as.
Right.
And we got to be able to be just respectful with our opinions, but not necessarily just agree just because you want to be like politically correct. I think that everyone has a right to have like their own opinion, their own voice.
Yep.
So I think just breaking that kind of awkwardness around uncomfortable subjects is something that we need to kind of like try and bring more.
Yes.
Try and bring more of that. Just so we can be authentic and real rather than having it's hard being like someone who hides, try to hide how you feel, like I've always been someone who just tell me how you feel, like I want you to keep it 100 with me. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
so whether I agree or disagree, that we can figure that out.
Exactly.
But as long as you're being honest and we can just be real about how we're feeling,
Yep.
that's the steps to autonomy. That's the steps to growth right there.
Yeah. Earlier we were talking about that video I was showing you, the
Yeah.
Adeola. I'll have to share that with you.
Yeah.
I like his videos, very thought-provoking, and yeah, I see something like that. I usually like, okay, and what I like about that too is I end up doing my own research, going in and
Yeah.
I don't like to just take in information. Just somebody says this, oh, that must be right. Well, let's fact check it. I like to fact check my stuff and see how it is. But yeah, and I do like his thing, like his dramatizations. He throws in a bit of theatricals in there
Yeah,
just
yeah,
to get the point across.
yeah.
He's a writer director, and yeah, it's just some of the stuff makes me laugh. He actually did one. He did one on Emmett Till. I'll send that to you.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Almost, I think I posted on IG as well. Basically, the lady, I can't remember the lady that had accused him of saying something to him and caused him to get killed.
Yeah.
And she was at the gates of hell.
No.
So yeah, they did a dramatization of that. It was pretty cool. Wow. But like I said, good stories
Yeah.
or historical stories told in a dramatic way, and I really like how he does those. So
Yeah, nah, I'm looking forward to getting them because like the one you showed me is pretty jokes, and what you're saying is like I like kind of how Adiola does his videos because just like we were talking about, he's bringing up serious events, but he's kind of adding his own spin-off in it that makes it not as maybe uncomfortable for some people to bring up certain topics, you know. So like he makes it there's no it's a guilt free, you know.
yeah,
Because I feel like a part of history we like in our present time we're trying to uncover history, so like we're still processing it, like you know, as much as we're like we're all a part of history, but we're still trying to process and understand it. So there's no, I feel like when we talk about history, there's no one to really, we shouldn't put the blame on people for things. I think instead it just having conversation to be, how can we get better? We have to move forward instead of, you know, so history doesn't repeat itself.
for sure.
And I think that's kind of a key. That's a key.
I agree with you on that, man. Actually, one of the questions I'd asked the guys in February was with regards to how they feel within the locker room and within the community at Guelph, like as a black man.
I'd say like with our locker room is special. Like I'm not gonna lie, like, and I know like everyone wants to say it, like just says it, but our locker room is like special in a way where like I never felt like I've ever got like any sort of like prejudice or like racism towards me, and like I think we all come from like we got guys from everywhere. We got guys from East, West. We got French. Like we like so like we got a good mix of guys that kind of come in and out. Like, and I feel like I like to be able to like learn about people through like their cultures, like culture experience. So like I got a couple guys on the team. I remember during when we were doing our winter shit workouts, there were guys that were like, we got some of our Muslim brothers. Some of our Muslim brothers, they were fasting during, like they're fasting and still coming to practice, still coming to the lift 6 a.m. And it's like, you look at someone differently when you like that takes a real man, like that's real leadership. You know what I'm saying? Like so shout out to all my Muslim brothers, you know, inshallah, you know, don't worry, I know about that stuff too. I got my, but like I just there we got a lot of flavor in our locker room, you know, so it mixes it up. And in the community it's good too. Like in the community it's good. Like I've never, you know, if I pop up with a sweater, like, you know, in the no frills or something, like, you know, you have people come up to you, be a little extra nice. So maybe I don't know, maybe I gotta wear it less, get like authentic.
See what it's really like.
yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. Golf is treating me good, you know, like up to this point. So I can't complain. and like, yeah, nah, I miss the guys, man. Like, yeah, we got a special locker room. I usually leave. If I'm not leaving here with a headache from practice, I'm still laughing, like regardless from the guys, you know. So, nah.
Too much jokes go on in those rooms, man. I actually was supposed to meet up with a friend of mine, one of the guys I met here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Burnsy. Yeah, we linked up,
Yeah.
and yeah, he said, "Yo, shoot me some dates in June." I shot him one date, and he couldn't make it, but I said, okay, I need to send more dates out to him so we could link up, and I still haven't. So Burnsy, I'll get back to you, man. Trust me. And yeah, so yeah, you're right about that. Guelph's, and I said this in February as well. Guelph's special place for me, and yeah, outside in the community, within the locker room. And just like yourself, met so many people from different walks of life here, and it's, you know, I never felt like an other being here, you know, and yeah, it was just a great experience, and part of the reason why I'm doing things like this, because I love being back in Guelph. I'm working today here at Guelph, so.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say to me or ask me, or?
I was gonna ask you about how your time at Guelph was, but you kind of covered it though. But
Yeah, dude.
I was gonna say, like, have you seen a change since you went from when you've been here? Like, what do you think?
You know what? Other than just the infrastructure being built, well, other than the facility is much better for sure, but the comradeship between the teammates, everybody's, yeah, it seems to be the same. You know, and I love it. From that aspect, it's been great. Not much different. Yeah, and like you said, it's a special place, man.
Yeah.
People bug. I have so much Guelph gear, and whenever I wear it, people are like, "You have anything else?" I'm like, "Yo, man, I have enough stuff. I gotta wear it. I can wear a different thing every day and not, you know, not have to worry." But it's a testament for my time here. Yeah, and if anything bad happens on campus or like wouldn't say saddened, but it brings me down a bit just because, you know, I expect a lot from Guelph. You know, I put it at a high standard, and so yeah, I'm just always happy to be here, man. I love coming up, and it's funny too. When I was coming up, who was I talking to? I was talking with a friend of mine, just reminiscing on the drive up. Not six, Gordon. Just coming up the street there, and just how well that's changed. And I remember my first trip up here thinking, where the heck am I going? There's bush everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just looking around, I'm thinking, what have I signed up for? And I was scared. I was honestly scared about it. And ended up loving the place. You know, Guelph, and I think I said this in the last video, Guelph wasn't my first choice, but it was my best choice. You know, it was the best option for me. You know, it just worked out great for me, you know, and I love it. I wouldn't change it, man. The only thing I would change is just my interaction with my teammates. I wish I'd interacted with them more.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's pretty much it, man. But
hey, man.
Loved it. Loved it here.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah.
You know, the motto of Guelph is improve life. Sounds like it has improved both of our lives. So, hey, they're not capping on that one. So. All right, man.
Nice.
Yeah, nah, this is a good talk. This is a good talk.
Sure. We'll keep it going.
Yeah,
keep
yeah.
It rolling.
Oh, yeah.